Next up for review on way I got it figured, Transformers Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so I got this Blitzwing at Walmart with the help of my buddy over at Crossfire Collectibles, Phil. Blitzwing has some controversy surrounding him for his leader class price point. There are lots of opinions out there on the vehicle mode, Hasbro's direction that they're taking the character as in a cartoon accurate way, you know, trying to be as true to the cartoon and the original 1985 toy. We're gonna look at all the alt modes, and I'll give perspective on each of them. So let's get Blitzwing out of the package, and we'll see what happens. So as you can see, Blitzwing comes packed in tank mode with his various accessories, his scimitar, 2 laser rifles, or whatever they are, rifles, and his energon weapons, which are big old gauntlets. So yeah, that's Blitzwing. That's how he comes, which is good because I actually enjoy the aspect of having to transform my figure into robot mode. It gives me the nostalgic feeling of how Transformers were back when I was a kid. You had to transform each and every one of them into robot mode. So that's what we're gonna do. But first, we're gonna look at them in tank mode. So yeah, so we'll do that first. All right, so here's Blitzwing out of the package in tank mode. Here's his 2 rifles, his Electron scimitar, and of course his energon gauntlets. He has kind of an enhanced tank mode, which you can you know, place his weapons on the tank. So we're going to do that. We'll create that mode according to the instructions, and we'll get right back to it. Okay, so we're back, just finishing up the, I don't know, super tank mode. So there's little pegs on each side of the gun barrel tank section, right here, and kind of a recess there, and all you do is stick it in there, and it stays fairly securely. On the other side, it did. Come on, there we go. It's on there pretty good. And then there are 2 5mm ports on the side, or you can stick the 2 blaster rifle weapons. And of course there are other 5mm ports, but you know, it probably really does look better like this. But you could use this hole, that hole, or these holes here. I imagine this tank barrel may take blast effects, but because I wasn't expecting them to have blast effect compatibility, because they're sort of removing that from most of the legacy figures, I didn't bring any blast effects to try it out. So when I look at the hole, it's kind of smallish, but it may actually fit the Marvel Legends gun blast effects, which have a much smaller peg hole. There's nothing that says where you should put his sword, so we're just gonna set that off to the side. Now I realize I'm using base plates to show the figure, just to have some sort of backdrop until I get something a little more professional. But Blitzwing does hold, he does roll pretty well. Even on a base plate, his wheels are rolling. Here you have the jet boosters on the back, which are accurate to the original toy from 1985. Even though they were sort of one solid piece of plastic, but they were there. I kind of like all this extra battle mode, you know, for the purposes of what I would do with it. I probably wouldn't have all the extra weapons on him. I would display him sort of just raw. But since I don't really display my figures in vehicle mode anyway, he's ultimately going to end up in robot form. So what I'll do next is transform him into the jet mode. So I think the tank mode, a lot of people don't like this here, the cockpit. Having the figure in hand, I don't really mind the cockpit. I never did. It was always there. What I don't perhaps have as much appreciation for is his head. His face is just visible. You know, it's hidden, but not really, right? Outside of right under this section here, you can see his face is kind of right there. I mean, it's a quibble, and we know that when Transformers, you know, are designed, the alt modes, particularly on triple changers, there's always going to be kind of a sacrifice that has to be made. Is he a tank? Sure. Is he the best tank in the world? No. Does he pass muster for what I would do with it? Yes, he's fine. You know, it's okay. All right, jet mode. So here's Blitzwing in jet mode, and I'm gonna be honest. It took about 10 minutes to do this. So he holds this mode via a lot of tabs, and I don't think that I tabbed everything in right. As you can see here, it's crooked. It's crooked there, but I mean, you're supposed to tab the stuff in, so I don't know. Yeah, without having transformed it into robot mode yet, I can easily say that this is the weakest mode of the three. Again, with triple changers, you're always losing something. He does hold together. I mean, he's not falling apart on me. He's not, you know, he's not gonna. If I left him like this, he would stay like this. And he does have a little landing gear here, even though the landing gear doesn't really exceed the tank barrel, which is tabbed in itself. It doesn't go any lower than this. So, you know, I don't know. The landing gear, I guess, is just there to replicate the original toy. You can stick the Energon things in the back here for extra boosters. I mean, I'm not going to use these, but, you know, just to show it. They're supposed to fit in here somehow. So yeah, I mean, I do like the look of it. It looks like his jet mode. There's excess kibble. This kind of kibble here was always there in the original toy. This is a little extra here. But, you know, I'm really not going to use him in jet mode very much. So here's his jet mode. It's not the greatest. He's a triple changer. I understand that that compromises have to be made, and the compromises were definitely made here. On to robot mode. All right, so here's Blitzwing in robot mode. His transformation wasn't difficult overall. However, I will have to point out that he has tabs in his knees, double tabs. And the tab that hooks to a little block that forms the upper leg, lower knee. It was kind of hard to line those up. It took me a minute to figure that out, really. It probably took me about 8 to 10 minutes to transform them, merely dealing with those tabs. Everything else went very smoothly. He has all the articulation you would expect from a modern Transformers figures, particularly at a leader class price point. His head does look up, looks down somewhat, but that's mainly blocked by his shoulder. Like I said, wrist rotation. He has wrist rotation, and of course an ankle pivot. And his waist rotates as well. So I'm happy with the articulation. I'm happy with the look of the figure. Let's do some comparisons. So here he is with Earth class leader Starscream. About the right size. Roughly the same size, maybe a little taller on Blitzwing's end. They do look good together. But yeah, Starscream. Here's his fellow triple changer. Earthrise Astro Train. Another figure that was somewhat controversial with his alt modes. Of course, being a triple changer as usual, he does suffer from a compromised alt mode. But again, as a figure, he displays well as Astro Train, and together with Blitzwing, they do look fairly complementary. And last, but certainly not least, Earthrise Megatron. So there's Blitzwing with Megatron. Megatron is, about a shoulder taller. That's show accurate. That's scale. One of my favorite things about modern day Transformers, robot mode scale. So yeah, there's your Megatron comparison. All right, so final thoughts on Blitzwing. The way I got it figured, he's a worthy addition to your collection. He's a leader class figure with the appropriate articulation for a figure in that class. Controversially, of course, his alt modes are compromised somewhat. The jet mode more so than the tank, but I'm not regretting picking up this figure. I eagerly anticipated it. I would give him, I'd say, a 3.5 out of 5. He's a pretty good figure. He's for my money, he displays well. He articulates well. He stands well. He looks the part. So yeah. Transformers Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing. Please, if you like this content, want to see more, please leave me a like. Maybe subscribe. I am trying to get better as I go. I'm doing little innovations as I go. But you know, feedback is the best medicine when you're trying to improve. All right, well, see you guys on the next one. I got some Marvel Legends stuff coming up, some G.I. Joe Classified, a couple of Mattel WWE figures as well. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.